She told the examiner it feels like broken glass. Every word of that was true, and it earned her nothing, not because anybody doubted her. Because of what Diagnostic Code 7512 does when you open it, and there's a root in the same section that pays everything, which I'll get to.
Erica here, 7512 is chronic cystitis, and it explicitly includes interstitial cystitis and all etiologies. And it contains no percentages at all. 4 words, rate as voiding dysfunction.
Chris joining you and voiding dysfunction is scored 3 ways: urine leakage, urinary frequency, or obstructed voiding. That's the entire menu.
Erica, read that list again and notice what isn't on it.
Chris, pain. Interstitial cystitis is fundamentally a pain condition, and pain isn't one of the 3 things this code can score.
Tiffany, that sounds unfair until you see what it means practically.
It does. And I want to be careful, because I'm not telling anybody their pain doesn't matter. I'm telling you the form can't hear it. What the form can hear is what the pain makes you do, and with interstitial cystitis, what it makes you do is go to the bathroom constantly.
Which is urinary frequency, and frequency is scored precisely in hours and in nightly awakenings.
So before we go on, ask yourself this. How many times did you go yesterday, and did you count? Because a number is scoreable and an adjective isn't, however honest the adjective is. Quick honest ask while we are here. If this has been worth your time so far, hit like, then subscribe and ring the bell. I know everyone asks, but this one is free, and it is how a small channel like this actually grows. So let's read the ladder you're actually going to be scored on.
Professor Kowalski's at the desk, and I wanted her here because the frequency criteria are the most mechanical thing in this whole section.
They are, and that is a mercy rather than a cruelty. Urinary frequency assigns 10% for a daytime voiding interval between 2 and 3 hours, or awakening to void 2 times per night, 20% for an interval between 1 and 2 hours, or 3 to 4 times per night, 40% for a daytime voiding interval of less than 1 hour, or awakening 5 or more times per night.
Kowalski, say what that means for somebody with real interstitial cystitis. Because here's what I keep wondering. If the criterion is already met, why is anyone sitting at 10%?
A person voiding 20 or 30 times in a waking day has an interval well under 1 hour. That is the 40% criterion on its face. The difficulty is almost never severity. It is that nobody has written the interval down.
And 40 is the ceiling on frequency.
On that ladder, yes, leakage reaches 60, but its lowest rung already requires wearing absorbent materials, which is a different clinical picture from interstitial cystitis in most cases.
Thank you, Kowalski. The phrase on its face is the thing I want people to hear. The criterion is already met. It just isn't recorded.
Tiffany, so how do you turn a symptom into a scoreable number? You keep a diary, and it's less work than it sounds.
3 days. Write the clock time every single time you go. That's it. You're not measuring volume, you're not weighing anything.
Erica, and the interval falls out of that automatically.
It does. If the entries read 9:40, 10:15, 10:50, 11:20, that's a daytime interval of about half an hour, and half an hour is comfortably under the 1 hour line.
Chris, keep the night ones separate, because nocturia is its own root to the same percentage. 5 or more awakenings is 40% on its own.
Erica, then hand the page over. Don't summarize it, don't apologize for it, hand it over.
Because the alternative is the word often, and often is not a number a ratter can climb a numbered ladder with.
Chris, that's the sentence. Say hours, say counts. Let the clinician write the rest.
Put the money on it, because a 3-day diary is a strange thing to be worth this much.
Kowalski's back for the arithmetic.
Take a veteran service-connected for interstitial cystitis who described her symptoms as burning and pressure with no interval recorded. A rater has one usable data point that she voids more than usual and that supports the lowest rung, 10%.
$180.42 a month for a single veteran under the rates in force since this past December.
Now, the same veteran with 3 days of entries showing a 35-minute average interval, that is the 40% criterion, documented, $795.84.
$615.42 a month between a description and a diary.
Kowalski, and she wasn't any sicker in the second version.
Not by a single symptom, she was merely legible to the schedule.
Thanks, Kowalski. Legible to the schedule is going to stay with me.
Let's land it and then say plainly who this doesn't apply to.
Chris, keep the diary first. 3 days before you file or before you ask for an increase, because the claim is decided on the record as it stands the day somebody reads it.
Then say the interval out loud at the exam, in hours, and the night count as its own number.
And still describe the pain. I want to be clear about that. It belongs in your medical record, it drives your treatment, and it may matter for other codes. Just don't expect it to move this one.
I promised a route that pays everything, and here it is, but read the fine print with me. In the same part of the schedule, a bladder fistula rates 100% when there's been a post-operative suprapubic cystotomy, and multiple urethroperineal fistulae rate 100% as well.
Which is not interstitial cystitis.
It is not, and I'd rather say that than let anybody go and file for it. Those are surgical complications with their own diagnostic codes. I mention them because if that is your history, you are in a different and much higher part of this section than the one we've been reading.
Now the honest part. If your interstitial cystitis is mild, you're going a normal number of times, and you sleep through the night, then 10% is the correct answer, and it isn't a slight. This code is measuring disruption, and if the disruption is small, the number is small.
So here's what I'd actually do if you're rated at 10 and you're up 5 times a night. Don't file this week. Keep 3 days of entries first, then file. That's the smart play, because filing today spends your effort on a record that doesn't contain the one thing that would win it.
Tiffany, evidence first. It's the same lesson every time.
Here's the sentence to keep. This code can't score how it feels, so give it something it can count. Subscribing is free and takes one tap, and it puts the next one of these in front of somebody about to walk into an exam with adjectives. And if you know a veteran who's been told her bladder pain isn't rateable, send her this. It's not the pain that's rateable, it's the counting, and that's $615 a month. I'll go first. I'd have described it exactly the way she did. So tell me, how many times did you go yesterday, and did you count? Start the diary tonight, then go read your letter. And be kind to yourselves.